Hello students of class 7. This is your geography class and it is the continuation of the discussion river. In this class, today we will discuss about the middle course of the river and the lower course of the river. So let's start from the middle course. In the middle course, the river generally runs through lower lands or in the plain lands. And the characteristics that are found in these course are: number 1, the slope of the land becomes gentler. Number 2, the speed and the energy of the river is reduced. Number 3, the main work of river here is to transport and deposition. As slope of the land becomes gentler and the speed become lower, so main work is transport and deposition. Number 4 is erosion or cutting down of the river bed is almost stopped here. Number 5 is the river valley is not so deep here. Number 6, the volume of water here increases due to the tributaries that are joined here with the main channel and supplies water. So, water increases in these courts because of the tributaries that brings lot of water in the main channel. And the number 7 is river rivers now only erodes the bank, or lateral erosion is much stronger here, and river valley becomes wider. So these are the main characteristics that are found in the middle course of the river. Now I am discussing about the landforms. As rivers doing deposition and transportation much and erosion is little here, so various types of landforms are developed. Most of them are due to deposition, and the landforms are: number 1, meander. In the middle course of a river, the valley becomes wider and the slope of the land is very gentle. So, the river flows in a irregular path, or its flow is being deflected and moves to the opposite bank where erosion begins. So, in one bank where water hits, their erosion begins, and the other hand, the other bank is very much influenced by the deposition. So, thus once the bend begins to form, the flow of water continues to impinge on its outside curve so that meander loop develops. I am repeating this again. In the middle course of the river, the valley becomes wider and the slope of the land is very gentle. So the river flows in a irregular path and its flow is being deflected or moves to the opposite bank where it cuts the bank or erosion begins. Due to erosion, thus the river is being bended to form a meander-like loop. Okay, and this bending or curvature form of river is known as meander. The example of meander is in Nadia district. Meander is found in Jalangi river basin. Now I am telling you about the another landform that are developed in an acute form of meander. When a meander is developed, there has two types of river banks. Number one is steep bank and the another is slip of slope, where flowing water hits directly and erode the bank gradually. It is steep slope, and the opposite to that side, some deposition of sands are found, and it is slip of slope. After some times, through erosion and deposition proportionately, two sides or the arms that are comes closer and has been cut through the abundant lateral erosion of the bank at the meander neck. So what is meander neck? Meander neck is the land that are found between the two curvature form of river banks, and this narrow strip of land is called meander neck, which is cut off by the river lateral erosion, and then rivers runs through a straight channel, and the loop of the meander is remained as a lake, or it is separated from the main channel by the riverine deposits, and this separated part or the meander loop that has been developed by the straightening of the river flow is looking like a horseshoe shape or crescent shape. This lake is called as Oxbow Lake. Here I am giving you a diagram that has been described the formation of Oxbow Lake part by part. Okay, and the example of Oxbow Lake is Moti Jheel in Murshidabad. It is a meander loop of Ganga river. So Moti Jheel in Murshidabad is an example of Oxbow Lake. Now I am telling you about the another landforms, and this is River Island. In the middle course, the capacity of carrying loads is being reduced. So river starts to deposit and it's transported materials on its bed and along the banks. I am repeating this again. As the slope being gentle in this river course, the capacity of the carrying loads of river is being reduced. So river starts to deposit the transported materials where in its bed or along its banks. This deposition may choke the channel or obstruct the channels flowing, and for sandbars, or sometimes it is developed as a river island. The sandbars that are gradually increases its size and develop as river islands. Example of river islands is Majuli Islands in Brahmaputra River is the largest river island in the world. Now we are discussing about the lower course. In the lower course, the river is nearer to its mouth, and the characteristics that are found in this course are: number 1, river is very slow. Number 2, river have low energy. Number 3, erosion is totally stopped in this course. Number 4, deposition is the main work with some transportation in this course. Number 5, there are no tributaries. Number 6, distributaries branch out from the main river in this course. So, these are the characteristics that are found in the lower course of the river. And the landforms that are found in these course are: number 1, floodplain. Accumulation of sediments makes the river shallow, and the accumulation is along the river banks or beneath the river beds. So river becomes shallow. But in the rainy season, when river carries much water, it overflows. It overflows in its banks, and sediments that it carries also deposited along the both banks, both side of the banks and in the channel itself. These form the flood plains. As these plains are developed due to the accumulation of sediments happening at the time of flood, so it is termed as flood plain. And the example of flood plain is Huanghe River Basin have a flood plain in China. And the next landform is delta. It is also a depositional landform, and it is deposits of sediments formed at the mouth of a river where it enters a lake or sea. At first, a bar is developed by the deposition of river sediments. Then the bar chokes the normal flow of the river, as I have said already in the river islands, and the development of bar pushed the river to bifurcate and flow on both sides of the bar. This process continues and the bar increases in size, and the development of triangular landforms is known as delta. So, delta is a Greek letter. It looks like a triangle, and the landform that are shaped in triangle shape and developed due to the deposition of river nearer to the mouth is known as delta. The last landform is estuary. Saline sea water can enter a river. As you have seen, that river terminates its flow in the sea, but at the time of high tide, sea water enter in the river basin. Though the shape of the mouth is like a funnel. So, the funnel shaped mouth having broad area in this place are known as estuary, where saline water can easily enter at the time of high tide. And these estuaries are found in the Sundarban, where Ganga terminates at Bay of Bengal. So, these are the various landforms that are developed by the rivers, and many other landforms are also there, but in your syllabus or in your textbook only these landforms are here. So I am discussed about these landforms. The diagram you have supplied at the time of discussion, you have to draw in your exercise book. Now I am discussing about a topic that why deltas are not formed by all the rivers. That Ganga have delta, Nile rivers have also delta, but Amazon rivers have no delta, though it is a long river. So why deltas are not formed by all the rivers? You have to know this. And the points may be discussed here point by point, step by step. Number 1 is sufficient load of sediments. If the load of sediments of the river that it carries is not sufficient, then it is not possible to develop a delta for the river. So, load of sediment should be sufficient for the river. Number 2 is the speed of flow. Nearer to the mouth, the speed of the flow should be slow. If the speed of the flow should be slow, then it may develop deltas. But where flowing water having great speed, then it will not possible to develop deltas. Number 3, where sea is turbulent, there have no possibility to development of deltas. So, sea should be calm where the river terminates its flow. Number 4 is deep sea. If the sea is deep, then it is not possible to develop deltas because the sediments that carries the river will not be sufficient for the development of delta. So, the sea should be narrow or sea should be shallow. Number 5 is salinity and density of sea water. Where salinity is greater, the density of sea water also greater, and it helps to develop deltas. So, these are the points that may responsible for the development of deltas in some of the river mouth. You should discuss this point after writing this point with another ink, okay? And you should be highlight this point when you are preparing these notes. So these are the discussion about rivers, and it is your last class regarding rivers. Okay, thank you.